Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mind and Body Reset Podcast. Your host, Coach Shy. So it has been a hot minute. It has been months, actually. I just had a lot of life things going on. I am very grateful for everything that has happened. And we are finally situated in our home again. And I am just feeling very at peace and just very grateful, so grateful for all that has happened, all the growth that I've done, and where God has brought me now. So, anyways, with that being said, I've started Motivation Monday calls with all of my girls. And so, what we did for going into the new year was I gave them kind of like a goal setting worksheet. This isn't like a new you, new year, me. Totally screwed that up. This isn't a new year, new me thing. This is a what are going to be our focus points for the year going forward? What are going to be our action steps to work towards those goal focus points? And then it's something that you review in about 3 months from now. So I do want to go over that with you guys. So then that's something that you can also put into place for you for this year. And I'm not sure if I will drop the Google Doc or if there's a way I can drop that into the captions, but if it's something you're interested in, just comment and I'll figure out a way to reach out to you and get it to you. Okay, so yeah, just looking at it here now. Um, you know what? What we could probably do is share this. And then if you need to take a screenshot of it, then you can. But if you want to message me about it, then you also can. Okay. All right. So hopefully we can see that. All right. So how we start it is what are going to be your 2 to 3 focus points for 2026? So this could be your career, physical health, mental health, relationships, spiritual health, leadership, setting boundaries, healing, people pleasing, like whatever it is for you, what 2 to 3 things are you like, I really want to improve myself on this year. So first, I want you maybe get out a pen and paper. Maybe we should just make this a little bit of a activity podcast. Get out a pen and paper or like the notes on your phone and just write down whatever it is that you want to improve in your life this year, or even in like the next 3 months. So I'll just tell you to, if you're needing to write those down, stop, pause this podcast and write them down, and then we'll come back and then come back to it. Okay, so I trust that you wrote them down. Okay, so what are 2 to 3 goals for each of these areas? So this is where we're getting a bit more specific. So say example, if it is like physical health, then your example could be to lose 10 pounds, achieve clear skin. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of did my examples for my girls based on like what my kind of goals are for this year. So yeah, I have about 10 pounds that I want to lose after all the chaos that has happened over the past many months. And also achieve clear skin because I have been struggling with acne also for the last probably year now, really bad. And that is a big goal that I have because I know you can get to the root of it. I know you can heal it through lifestyle, nutrition, diet, all that, right? So that is a big goal for me this year. Lose 10 pounds, achieve clear skin. So whatever that is for you, if it's your physical health, if it's your mental health, if you're wanting to get better in leadership, if you're wanting to heal people pleasing, like what is the goal that you want to set for yourself and like make it a bit more tangible, like something that you can actually measure. So for the career wise, I put help 50 women transform and then host weekly group calls. So this is why we started our Motivation Mondays to just provide more support within the program. And then my goal is to help 50 women transform their life this year. And that is going to help in my goal of growing the business and just making my program more like service-based and impactful going forward. So, like I said, once you have these figured out, then I want you to write down about 2 to 3 goals for each of these areas. So, um, yeah, and then make these clear and concise, but don't get too hung up on it, right? Like if you can't think of like a specific measurable thing, like for an example, people pleasing. That was one of the ones that my one of my girls, she really wants to focus on this year. And so what did we do for hers? It was a goal to make it kind of like a measurable thing. I think it was to say no to something like every week or once a month or something like that. Like to have a goal to say no to something that she doesn't really want to do, or like just making sure she's prioritizing herself and being able to say no without having to explain, without having to feel guilt. Just, psh, no, I can't do that. Thanks. You know? So I'll give you some time. I'd say pause this, write those down, and then come back to it. So I trust that you have written down your 2 to 3 goals that are a bit more precise for each of your 2 to 3 focus points for the year. So now we want to dig a little deeper and think like, what are the 2 to 3 actions that you'll do consistently to achieve these goals? So for my health, walk 10 minutes after every meal. That is, well, for the 10-pound loss, but also specifically for my acne, because that helps when you're walking after your meals. It helps digest your food. It helps you absorb all of your vitamins and minerals more efficiently. And it also helps regulate your blood sugar. So then you're not getting the spikes and falls as much, even when you're eating like balanced, right? I eat a lot of protein. But I mean, I also eat like I eat balanced, but you still can benefit from walking after your meals to help regulate your blood sugar and your insulin spikes. So yeah, walk 10 minutes after every meal, hit protein and calorie goals daily, and then meditate times 30 minutes daily. So these are all going to be focused on my health goals of losing 10 pounds and clearing up my skin. For the career one, I'm putting make 20 new connections per month, schedule in a uh, lesson prep day each week. That's for the Motivation Monday call. So I'm able to prep kind of what I'm wanting us to do in our group calls each week. And then schedule a recurring Zoom meeting and put a recurring reminder in my phone to share with the group chat. So those ones are not like daily things, right? Like the prepping it once a week, that's a weekly thing. The Zoom meeting thing, that was a one-time thing. But then I also have my weekly reminder in my phone to message our group and just say, hey, we're going live in an hour, dropping the Zoom link in there as a reminder for everyone. So, and then making 20 new connections per month, that's going to be like over the month. That's what my goal is, right? Like it's not necessarily a daily action that I need to take for that one. Whereas like the health one, that is a daily action that I need to take. So yeah, these can be daily actions, maybe a one-time action to get things rolling, whatever actions need to happen to get the ball rolling and to keep it moving forward. So they're also going to be your small wins. So when I make those 20 new connections a month, like whether they turn into anything or not, I'm just patting myself on the back and I'm like, good job, Shine. Like you did the 20 connections this month. When I hit my protein and calorie goals every day, each day, it's like, good job, Cheyenne. You did that, right? Those little small wins and just celebrating those instead of being so focused on the outcome alone, is also really important. So regardless of the outcomes, if you follow through on these, you pat yourself on the back. Yeah. Do a happy dance and share it in our group chat. And that's like our dopamine reward system is anchored through acknowledging it ourselves and then sharing it with others. So that's another thing. Having someone, and I mean, this is why I feel like community is so important. That's why I'm bringing more community into our program, because we need that support. Like, and I feel like even more so, especially as women, we do better when we are together in it. And so if you have someone who's like great in your life, who you can, like when you celebrate your own win, you're like pat on the back, do a little happy dance, and then you can go out and like share it with someone that's, that who will celebrate it with you, is very important. And it's important that they celebrate it with you. And I mean, I'll give kind of like a bit of a personal example. I had a partner and he did not celebrate it, right? Like it was a very toxic relationship, but whenever I was excited about something, I was like, oh, this is what I did, like my small win or my big win or whatever it was. And I would get okay, yeah, nice. Like it completely ruins your like reward system of being like, oh, like I did well in something, right? Like you can celebrate it for yourself, but then when you celebrate it with someone else who can appreciate it as well with you, it boosts your confidence. It makes you be like, oh, like I'm doing this for more than just myself, I guess, in a way. Um, so yeah, anyways, that's like a little bit of a side tangent. So write down 2 to 3 actions that you'll do consistently to achieve these goals. So I'll get you to write down those. So again, pause this and then come back when you're ready. Okay, and I trust that you've done that. So I am going to add a few things in here actually as we go. But so then we need to think about what needs to be removed or like set on the back burner or maybe like limited in order for you to focus on these goals. And so for an example, one of our girls, it was, and hers is a health related goal. So it was a little bit less snuggling time in the mornings with the dogs, right? So she's still getting her snuggle time, but she's cutting it out about 15 to 20 minutes so then she can go get her walk. Um, Another one was she has like a sales like side based business. And so her thing was in order to prioritize her health and like her people pleasing and stuff, that was something that she had to set on the back burner. And she's like, I'm not giving it up entirely, but like I need to become more aligned with who I am and myself before I can really excel in this, if that's where I choose to go. So it's like, what needs to kind of change or adjust for now in order for you to move yourself forward with this? Because if we just keep on adding things, our nervous system is not going to be okay with it. It's like, whoa, girl, you are already throwing way too much on me. And now you want me to just like get all this time to be doing all these other things. So it's kind of processing it in a way that we're like, I'm removing a bit of this for now in order to focus on this. So for myself, um, yeah, I'm kind of just like dropping all extracurricular activities in order to focus on my health and the business because that is my main focus for this year. If there are friends who do not add to my energy, if there are people who are draining my energy, if there are events that are happening that I feel are going to be more of like a drain or detrimental to me than a benefit to me, then I'm just saying like, no, we are zoned in, we are focused. Um, you can make a lot of change in 1 year. And so if you're needing to do that for 1 year, put yourself first to focus on what's really important to you, then you just got to do it, right? So pick one word to describe your year. And then what question, whoa, ask yourself. So this part here, we also went over when we were in the actual meeting. So I'll add this in here for you too. Pick one pick one word to describe your year. And so, for example, my word that I've picked is transformation. And I think a lot of people think like physical, which I do have like physical, external kind of like goals, right? With my overall health, with my physique, and some things coming down that I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to share yet. But also there's like the mental aspect and like just your life and what that looks like. And so for me, I'm like, I want my life, my who I am as like a leader, a business owner, a friend, like a sister, a daughter, who I am I want it to be completely different. Not to say that like I'm a bad person or that I feel like dislike for myself. But I do know that I can do a lot better, that I know that I have a lot more within me that I've kind of like always shrunk myself and made myself smaller due to external circumstances. And I feel like God's really put me in this space in order to like develop and really grow into who he has placed me to become. So like I said, I'm a God girl. That's kind of where I go with stuff. But whatever it is for you, like my word is transformation. And then the question that I ask myself is, what would who I am becoming do? And so an example of this is I have some things going on with, we're not really sure if it's autoimmune or what's going on, but like rashes over my eyes, my neck, um, random things with like joint pains and stuff that I've been trying to navigate and figure out. And a lot of it is stress and like nervous system related. So I've kind of figured that part out. Our healthcare system has been not enjoyable to deal with, but it is what it is. And I do feel that I will get to the root cause of it. But with that being said, you go through like this mental game, especially when you're like changing, you're trying to transform or you're trying to become someone different, become the next version of yourself. Not someone different, the next version of yourself. You are still you. You're just becoming the next better version of yourself. And so when you're doing that, you're pushing into that discomfort, your brain, your mindset, it challenges you. It is going to find all these sneaky little ways to convince you to remain who you are. And so an example of this was I was noticing after my like I've been like my heavier workout sessions where I'm like really pushing hard, like whether it's like bigger muscle groups and I'm really pushing hard on it. I was finding that the next day or two, everything would flare up really bad. And so I got to this point, my eyes were just like really bad one day, and I was supposed to be doing a workout, and my brain went into, well, I mean, I think this is the cause of it, right? So maybe you should just not do it today, and you have a rest day tomorrow, and then see how you're feeling after that. And so it's these sneaky little things that our mind does to try to convince ourselves to stay safe and play small. And so whenever I kind of come up with like these doubts in myself, then I can ask myself, what would who I am becoming do? Well, she would go do it, right? Yes, exercise is a stressor. Yes, it could be contributing to it, but I also need to show my nervous system that it is safe and that I'm taking care of it now. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be able to prove that by remaining small and giving into my mind, which is just really trying to keep me safe, right? It's like the survival mind instead of the thrive mind. It's like growing out of the survival mind, if that makes sense. So, anyways, that's my questions for that. And then pick one thing that scares you. Okay. And then going further on that, pick one thing that scares you, pick one new hobby, and then one new place to visit, whether that is you want to go to Mexico or Italy, or if that's going to be you want to go to the new bakery shop down the road, right? It doesn't have to be anything extreme. It doesn't have to be some huge travel thing, but go like one new place to visit and then, yeah, one new hobby and one thing that scares you. So I'm not going to share mine of these because A, I'm still trying to figure out a new hobby. Still trying to figure it out. I do have the new place to visit. I think my goal is to go to Mexico this year. I've never been. So I just really want, honestly, like an all exclusive beach vacation where I can be in the sun near the water and relax. That's all I really want. And then the pick one thing that scares you is something I'm not entirely sure. I know what I want to do, but again, I do have to, and this is part of the whole like, what would who I am becoming do? I do have to make sure that I am prioritizing my health fully diving in and deciding if I am going to pursue the one thing that scares me. I might have to pick another thing that scares me just because my getting my hormone health and everything is my top priority. And the one thing that scares me would be potentially detrimental to that. Like it could kind of put me backwards, right? So that is the reason why I'm not 100% sure. And so I haven't really shared that yet, but we'll see what happens. I'll know for sure by March. So stay tuned. So if that is something that you would, if you would like the document so you can make a copy, just write it out yourself. I mean, I would love to see what your goals and your things are. That's just going to help me be able to make more content that will help you in the podcast here as well. That's what I'm doing with my girls with our Motivation Mondays as well. So, yeah, if that's something that interests you, just comment, I want this document. I don't know. Not very official here, but comment something and or follow me on Instagram at Cheyenne Marie Fitness and message me there, and I'm happy to just send over the link for that. And what we will be going over in the next podcast is building a healthy relationship with food, which was one of the common things that my girls are wanting to focus on this year. And so I did put together like a presentation of ways that they found really helpful. So I do want to share that with you guys, and hopefully you guys find it helpful as well. All right, we'll talk soon.